Bam, a two-part question that I figure is coming. One, we just want an update on how are you feeling after leaving with the back injury, and two, your thoughts on what LaMelo did and how the officials handled it and how the NBA handled it after the fact.
Obviously, I'm still walking, so I'm okay. But I think the officials handled it, I guess, by the rule book. I feel like it'll be a change at some point because it doesn't make sense that three or four plays can go by and you can review a 3-point shot, but you can't review a hostile act. And I think I think LaMelo is just going to, see it as another game. He makes, 30 M's a year. The 60 he's not even going to see. But it's one of those things everybody's going to have their opinion on it. Nobody's really going to know the truth but LaMelo, if it was dirty or not, obviously. Everybody's going to try to defend him or defend me. So it's really him. And, we move on at this point.
Weirdly, this is the second time in almost the exact same spot of the court, different courts because the one happened here. But is there history, something, or is this just two weird coincidences that in that spot on the floor you guys have been tangled by him grabbing at you a couple times?
I don't know. I've always had great conversations with him. It's never been any bad blood between us. So, obviously I was drafted in the same draft class as his brother. So it's always been good conversations. As far as those incidents, like I said, I can't tell you what goes through his mind. My thing is, like I said, with the referees and the NBA, I feel like you should be able to review a hostile act no matter how long the possession has went by.
LaMelo said after the game that he was going to try to touch base with you and apologize. Did that conversation happen, and what did he kind of say to you?
It didn't happen. By that time, I was in the shower trying to figure out what I was going to do next. Just obviously everything happened all at once. And I wanted to be out there. So, at some point I'll see him again. We'll have that conversation, and we move on.
Bam, you have said many times this year that you were sick of being in the play-in. I know you tried to drive your team past that this year, obviously, and to get to the playoffs. Do you think that this team, as the captain, currently has enough as it stands? Is internal improvement enough to get you where you need to go, or do changes need to be made this offseason?
That is not a question for me. That is a question for Spo and Pat Riley. Obviously, the organization evaluates if we need to make changes or not. Seeing as we missed the playoffs, probably will be changes. So, my thing is just being prepared to have that conversation. Is there are changes?
Ma'am, obviously Khalil in his second season here, and Spo was kind of talking about how he's maybe a little more comfortable playing you guys, moving forward, especially together. Just your thoughts on his season, tumultuous or not, up and down, but just the thoughts on you two playing together.
I feel like he can be great. Like I said, I feel like Khalil is a lot more comfortable when I'm out there, just because somebody's actively always talking to him. And that might be aggravating, but, that was D-Wade when I was a rookie. When I was a second-year player, he used to piss me off all the time because he used to always talk to me. Him and UD, one was in the game aggravating me, and then I would come to the bench, and then it's UD getting on my nerves. But you need that if you want to if you want to tap into your ceiling, if you want to get to where places you don't think you can get, you need those conversations. You need those build-ups. You need those honest conversations where people are going to tell you that you're wrong. And it's helped me, so my job is to help him.
Bam, you've always said that being a captain, it's its own unique challenge. What was something?
It sucks.
Yeah, you've said
There
that,
you go.
yes.
There you go.
But, what are some of the things that you learned this season? Even Davion was saying something about bringing the guys kind of more together to continue to connect too.
This year, it's, I try to go back to the college style. How you see when, like, it's a free throw, it's a dead ball, they always huddle up. And that just shows togetherness. Even if you don't really say anything in the huddle, it just shows you have a connection with one another that, like I said, even if you don't say anything, it's still the visual of y'all look like a together team.
Ma'am, you said earlier that, other people make those decisions at what needs to change, but it's very easy for a player, especially with your stature and success, being the captain, all those things, to get frustrated at the last few years, the inconsistency, not getting out of the play, and all those things. How do you avoid that frustration? How do you voice that frustration if there is some?
You see how our last 4 years have been. You can go in there and voice that because everybody in this building knows I want to win. I put on that jersey almost every game through hell and high water just because, I want to win. I want to put us in a position to win. And, when you don't win, I always put it on myself. And that's me going in the summer trying to be better, trying to figure out how I can take my game to the next level, how I can be a better captain. And then, the business side is not my side. To me, being able to share my opinion is more important because that means you have somebody actively listening to you. And for them to listen is me telling them I want to win, and that's bottom line.
From the what's going on department, what was your reaction to a certain acronym getting printed in a press release yesterday and that deal getting done?
About time. They've been fighting for this for a long time, so for them to have that opportunity to obviously get Supermax and it has the M at the end, you see how much the game is growing. You see how much their game is growing, how much attention it is or surrounded about that game. How much attention it is surrounded by that person, to where they move the needle that much to where those contracts look like that, and I'm happy it's only going up from there.
Bam, on one hand, this offense this year produced 83, but on the other hand, it changed a lot of things for you in terms of your shot quality, where everything was coming from, your entire profile. What was your experience like navigating all these offensive changes, what you had to sacrifice maybe, and then going forward, if this offense remains in place, are there more adjustments that maybe you need to make?
It's new for everybody. So obviously I had certain times where I was frustrated because I felt like didn't need to shoot all these threes. But, coach is trying to make the offense. It was like, if you're open shooting, and it's like, I don't want this to be my first 3 shots though. And sometimes you just got to take what the game gives you. And, to have that type of free-flowing offense is going to be nice where you don't make shots. It is what it is. But it's for me to obviously grow, get more efficient because I shot like shit a lot. Most of the games just because I was taking what the defense gave me. But this summer, if we do have the same offense, who knows? He might switch up something else. Having opportunity to get more efficient in those spots where I feel like I not take a step back, but just get more efficient in.
To that point, you were talking about every offseason, you're kind of looking to improve yourself. You just talked about the efficiency. I guess what does an offseason for you look like at this stage, at this point in your career? Is it kind of the same type of offseason working on your game, just different parts? Just I guess what does it look like for you in terms of your training?
Well, this summer it starts with rehab. Getting my body healthy. And this is the first time, actually, which is crazy. I start with rehab. But it changes and it doesn't. I feel like it's some things that you have go-to moves and you have go-to places where it's like, all right, I know for sure I can get here and I'll live with the result. And there's other aspects of it where you really need to improve on. So yeah and no. It's kind of a love-hate relationship. I don't know how to really give you a definitive answer.
I know at this point it doesn't matter, but was this injury one that you think would have kept you out for multiple games, maybe even some of the playoffs?
Nah. I would probably too. I'm a person, I do not like needles, and everybody on the training staff knows that. But I would have took a couple. Already did, but yeah, I would have took a couple more to keep playing for sure.
Last question.
Bam, Jaime was in here earlier talking about the mental aspect of having a down year but coming back up the following. Kelel and Nico had their fair share of struggles this year. What would you advise to them to keep their heads up through as the offseason now unravels?
You get another opportunity to get better. You get another chance to change the narrative around your name. Obviously, you can't really hide from the noise. Because this world is now based a lot off social media and being on your phones and having all that attention. So it's really just changing the narrative around your name. You get an opportunity to obviously get in the lab, get a real good summer of just working on yourself. And you want to have that bounce back moment. You want everybody to change that narrative about you. And that should drive you in the summer. Hearing all the negative comments and, people try to put you in whatever trade may be. But having the opportunity to obviously work on your game is the biggest aspect.
Thank you, Ben.
Yep. Thanks, man. Yeah, I got it.